Wondering what life is really like on Canada's wild and crazy West Coast? This podcast is all about the people, the places, and Vancouver Island time. Together, we'll explore this island paradise, a combination of ocean, city, and country living. We'll meet the fabulous locals such as the Fudge Fairy and the Chicken Lady, who have chosen Victoria and Vancouver Island as their home. And we'll learn what makes this place unique and special to those who live here. And now, your host of Vancouver Island Time, Jane Johnston.
Hi, everybody. It's Jane Johnston with Vancouver Island Time, sponsored by the Briar Hill Group. And I'm here with Leslie Hopkins. Leslie is a certified Pilates instructor, and she also is a pelvic floor specialist. And I've known Leslie for a few years, and I have to tell you, Leslie, you have been kicking it in your business really well. I've just watched you explode, so way to go.
Well, thank you. Thanks very much, Jane. Yeah, it's been an interesting journey, I must say. And a little plug for eWomen. I must say I belong to the eWomen network and a group of women who support each other in growing their business. And they've really helped me come along from being just a Pilates instructor to a businesswoman, to running a business for myself.
Right. You've gone to the conference the past 2 years.
Yes. Yeah.
And so has that motivated you to just up your game, so to speak?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's motivated me and maybe given me a little too much information from time to time. Like, yeah, I mean, like you said, up my game. Like, what's the next step I need to be making and how can I improve myself and being a businesswoman?
So one of the reasons why we're meeting today is because we want to find out about this neighborhood. So we're in this fabulous area. It's called Fernwood. It's one of the older neighborhoods in Victoria. It's home of the Belfry Theatre, which is right across the street. And you'll see I took a little video of the Bubble Guy, who's hilarious.
Right. Oh, yeah. The Bubble Guy. Yeah, he's notorious. I've lived in this area for 25 years, and the Bubble Guy has been here the whole time.
Have you lived elsewhere in in Victoria or anywhere in the world?
Yeah, I lived in Victoria. I lived in the Fairfield district before, so lived closer to the ocean. I'm going to get into this right away. One of the reasons we moved into Fernwood was because it's warmer in Fernwood. When you live by the ocean, and we had a lovely home in Fairfield with an ocean view, but it's always cold, even in the summertime. And I noticeable difference in temperature when you move more into the center of the city. And one of the reasons we did was because it was warmer.
Yeah, I think it's about 5 degrees difference, actually. Celsius, that is. Okay. And so what do you like about this neighborhood? I mean, it has a lot to offer. It has the oldest high school. It has a Belfry Theatre. We're here in the Fernwood Inn. Has a Cornerstone Cafe. What else does it offer you as a resident?
It's a real eclectic mix of people. I mean, has to offer, it's walkability. I can walk everywhere. I can walk downtown. I can walk to the ocean. I do a lot of that. I have a dog. It's easily, you can get out of town in minutes. I mean, you're on the major highway literally in minutes. So it's a real central location that I really love about Fernwood.
Are you involved in the community growing? There's like a central community growing area?
No, I have a big backyard, so I do a lot of that on my own. I certainly see all the different community groups that grow vegetables. There's a lot of boulevard plantings in Victoria or in Fernwood. What I mean by that is we actually don't pay for boulevard maintenance in Victoria, so we get to take over the boulevard and grow our own gardens that are free to people to come and, if you grow some tomatoes, you can go and pick tomatoes in other people's, boulevard gardens and things like that.
That's pretty cool. And they also, I've seen a lot of people have been painting power poles.
Right, the pole painting. We are in a neighborhood where from time to time you get graffiti artists who come in, and in response to that, I think it was about 10 years ago, Fernwood established an initiative that we took over the poles. We took back our poles, and there's an event every year that you can put your name on a pole, provided the people whose residences are at the pole want their pole painted, and you can go and paint that pole. And there are some really great poles, actually, there's a lot of artists who live in the Fernwood area. We've got a big art stroll that happens every year, and you get to walk into the artists' homes and take a look at, I've bought some paintings over the years, some nice sculptures, some really nice artwork, lots of good artists in Victoria.
So it really is its own neighborhood, right? Like when you move in here, it's like a small city within a city.
A lot of people have told me it's like just in this kind of corner area, it's very similar feel to Portland. So it's kind of a real funky area. There's a lot of brick buildings just in this little vicinity here. So it is kind of a different feel in Fernwood, a different vibe.
Okay. And so you have kids, right?
We have 2 kids. They're grown now, 27 and 24.
And what's lifestyle like for them in this area, growing up from children, growing up now to adults?
It was fantastic. I mean, I never drove my kids to school unless they had a big project or whatnot. And actually their closest school was high school, which is literally 2 blocks away, so they could kind of roll out of bed in the morning and just go off to high school. They didn't have to wake up extra early. We can see the high school from the windows of our house almost.
Was that Vic High?
Yeah, Vic High.
And Vic High is one of the oldest high schools in North America, actually, on the West Coast, I believe, in north of San Francisco, I was reading.
Every student who graduates from Vic High gets to write their names in the attic space of Vic High. So you can go and see all of the names handwritten.
Wow, I am learning so much. That is so cool. So in terms of lifestyle in Fernwood and as a part of Victoria, what sort of things do you do as a community? Is there community market? Is there you talked about going through and doing the art tour. What other things are involved in Fernwood?
Yep, summertime community market opens up. I think it's late spring to early fall. It takes place right in the Fernwood Square, which is just across from where we're sitting. I can't remember whether it's on a Wednesday or a Thursday evening, but in the middle of the week, so that type of thing. It's, again, fresh produce. There's a lot of people who grow their vegetables here in Fernwood, sell them over there. A lot of artists, whether it be from people who weave things or jewelers or that type of thing.
Do they have to be from Fernwood to be in that market?
No. All over Victoria and all of the different communities in Victoria. There's a Moss Street Market. There's one in Oakland's area. So there's all sorts of different markets. James Bay has its own market, and they're all on different days of the week. Some in the evenings, some on Saturdays.
Vancouver Island Time is brought to you by the Briar Hill Group at Remax Camosun, Victoria, where we bring local expertise and global presence to your property.
So we're here in downtown Fernwood. Again, I'm with Leslie Hopkins. She is a Confident Core specialist.
Yes, my business name is Confident Core Fitness, and I help you develop a confident core.
Yeah, and so she lives in Fernwood. We're just going to look around and see what there is to see in Fernwood and how special this place really is. I have to tell you, one of my favorite streets is Vining Street, which is just 1 block up. Sold 3 houses up there, and I just really love this neighborhood. It has a fabulous feeling, and I have a client who lives up on Gladstone, and one of the things they told me about living in this area that they loved was they were able to paint their own light standard pole outside their house. So we'll just show you a bit about what we're looking at. Okay, so first up is the Belfry Theatre. So tell me a bit about the Belfry Theatre. Do you go to any of the shows? What happens there?
I mean, they have a regular repertoire of productions they produce. The last one I saw, I can't remember how to say the name. It was Onegin, I think. It was a Russian one, and they actually served little shots of vodka.
What are we looking at here? This pole.
Again, one of the painted poles. As I've said, once a year there is a week or a time when we all get together and paint a pole. So you can choose a pole. Not everybody has to do it. Some poles are not painted. So if you own a home and you don't want the pole painted in front of your house, you could just put a sign up and saying this one's taken.
Cool. Okay. And then the Cornerstone Cafe here.
Yeah, Cornerstone Cafe. This building has come a long way. It's now owned by the Community Association. So they bought it from the original owner. When I moved into the neighborhood, it was all right. There was a bakery in here at one point in time, but then it became a derelict building. It was all boarded up for quite a while. And then the community took it over, renovated it. There is, I think there's 3 units above that are rented for apartments, assisted living apartments. And yeah, the cafe has blossomed, the Cornerstone Cafe. There's a stage restaurant next to it, fabulous wine bar, and really good food. Next to that, a yoga studio, haircutting salon. So that building itself has come a long way since I've moved into this neighborhood.
Is that 20 years, did you say?
Yeah, 25.
25 years. Okay. And then across the street from there?
Fernwood, yeah, the Fernwood Inn. Again, it was always an inn. We used to be called the George and Dragon at one point in time, and then it was bought out. It's the people who took it over now repainted the inside, made it a little brighter. It used to be a bit dingy, and it's really lively. No matter when you go in there, there's always people, and every night they have something going on. They have a quiz night once a month that's great, really well attended.
Including the bubble guy who's in there at the bar right now.
That's right, the bubble guy. Yeah.
And down the street here, we have the Fernwood Pizza Company.
Yeah, it's new. It's not open yet, so it's new and up and coming. So that building was recently renovated. It used to be a First Nations. I can't remember exactly what went on in that building, but now it's been taken over, and it's soon to open. Fernwood Pizza Company.
Okay, and this used to be a jewelry store. Is it still a jewelry store?
Yeah, they still sell jewelry. Again, local people's crafts are in there, and pottery. It's again, small businesses in this neighborhood. They kind of go through a number that's always, somebody else will take this space over, and it'll probably reopen with the same type of theme going on, it seems.
Yeah, like, I know what you're saying. So, yeah. It's kind of eclectic.
Yeah, it is very eclectic. Same thing when you go down and there's the Mesa restaurant. Over the years, that's been a number of different types of restaurants. So they kind of change. Maybe every 4 years, it'll be a different restaurant that goes in there. So, yeah, again, eclectic. Right now it's Mexican food. And it used to be a French bistro, which was very good. The food was very good. But, no, it's a Mexican restaurant.
And I see a children's consignment store, and then...
Spatique. So there's a spa there as well, children consignment store. There's an art studio, a little general store. And the art studio that's down there has been there for a while. She does a great business down there, and she's the woman who actually painted the 2 poles in front of my house. And the poles actually match the color of my house and the one beside it. And she's an artist, and it's actually her mother who lives next door to me. So that's why she painted the poles in front of my house and the next door. So I actually have really nice looking poles.
Okay, very cool. Yes. Okay, so I didn't even notice this. We were standing right underneath this tree, and I see a whole bunch of notes tied to the tree. This one says, "I wish I could speak with loved ones that have passed."
The wish tree or the hope tree, and if you wish for something, or if you hope for something, or a desire to change your life in some way, you just put a little note up there and hang it on the tree.
And where do they get these pieces of paper?
There's a little thing that attaches to the tree. At certain times of the year, they replenish it. So I'm not really sure who does this.
And it's recyclable. Let's go see what some of them say. Inner peace, outer joy, love, and kindness for all. I wish for good food, hot tea, cute poppies, and to travel the world. Less fighting, less worries, and more dreams come true. Really funky. I wish that my dreams and hopes for the future come true. That's kind of a general one.
I wish for world peace and happiness.
Very interesting.
This is written by someone who was very young. I wish that everyone will live forever.
Tell me some other facts about Fernwood that you know of.
Interesting fact about Fernwood. Many of the homes in Fernwood were built by the original or the first tradesmen of their time. So any of the brick homes that you see in Fernwood were built by the original bricklayers. The home that I live in has no fireplace. All of the records in City Hall burnt in the early 1900s, so we're not really sure who built our home. But since our home has no fireplace and it's a century home, I figure it was built by the original, probably what would you call it, central heating guy.
Cool.
It was always heated by a coal furnace. So our house has, original air ducting system that dates back from then.
That's very cool. Well, I when I sold one of the houses on Vining, we actually got the records of everybody who'd owned the house from the late 1800s.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe some of them survived. Who knows? I'm not really sure.
Yeah, actually, Victoria has a big heritage society, and certain areas have more heritage homes, Fernwood being one of them. The other is James Bay and downtown Victoria. And so they do have brick. It's not very common now to have brick because it's not very earthquake proof.
No. No, and all of the brick, a lot of the brick was brought as ballast on boats. So that's where the brick came from, because there are no brick making plants, I think, on the island. Most of our homes are built by wood timber structures.
Yeah, Vikaya's brick, is it not?
Yeah. So Vikaya's brick, I don't know where all the brick would have come, but it could have come as ballast on boat at one point in time. It's the same with the armed forces base. All the brick homes there were ballast on boat at one point in time.
What's your favorite feature in your home?
My favorite feature are I have 2 bay windows. At this time of the year when we don't have a lot of light, when it rains a lot, I have 10-foot ceilings and huge bay windows that are almost floor to ceiling that let in a tremendous amount of light. So that's one of the things I really love about my home is the high ceilings and the big bay windows.
Maybe next time when we do an interview, we can get a tour of your home.
Sure. My husband's a builder. He's done all the renovation work. It's a well-loved home. It's been a well-used home.
A family home. Okay, so as part of the final part of our interview, Victoria has a lot of really nice restaurants because we have quite a large vacation population that comes here that sustains it all. I'm just wondering, what's your favorite restaurant in Victoria?
Right now, because it's the Fish Hook. So the Fish Hook, it's on Fort and Blanchard, I believe. Fantastic seafood. It's got an Indian theme, so a lot of Indian spices. Delicious food.
And then when you're trying to get away from it all, and you want to get out of the city, or maybe you just want to escape from reality, where do you go to? Where's your favorite outdoor place in Victoria to hang out?
I think my favorite outdoor place, we have a boat, and we park it in our driveway. And we take our boat down to just one of the launch. We just take off. We can take our boat and go visit one of the Gulf Islands, stay overnight if we'd like to at the marina or a bed and breakfast. So we can do that just for nights. Take off on a Friday night and come back on a Saturday if we want.
Okay, and then the last question is, so favorite place to vacation on Vancouver Island? We have lots of famous spots like skiing up island. We have tubing. Where do you like to go when you go for a vacation? We already know you love boating in the islands. Where else? What else do you like to do?
For a long time, we went camping on Thetis Island, so a small island just by, I think it's Chemainus. And it's got a private campground there that at the time when we first started going to it was not well known. But over the years, word spread. But 8 fantastic campsites right on the ocean. Very rustic camping, mind you. There's outhouses and no showers. But a really fantastic place for kids just to run around and really no worries.
Yeah. So I remember going to Rathtrevor, I think it was on Salt Spring Island, same thing, just right on the ocean. That's one of the fabulous things about the West Coast is nobody owns the land on the water. Nobody owns the waterfront. So you actually can access it anywhere you want. Yeah. So, all right. Well, thank you for coming.
You're welcome. Thank you, Jane.
We'd like to welcome you to the neighborhood of Fernwood, and we'll see you next time on Vancouver Island Time.
Welcome to the neighborhood. We hope you have had some insight into West Coast living. If you know of someone or someplace that should be highlighted in our podcast, we love to hear from you. Please go to VancouverIslandTime.com and click on our Connect button. See you next week on Vancouver Island Time with Jane Johnston.
Calling all speakers, eWomen Network has speaking engagements all over North America that must be filled. Are you a gifted messenger, author, expert, or successful entrepreneur that can help women entrepreneurs grow their businesses? Our mission is to help 1 million fulfilled women each achieve $1 million in annual revenue. If you're a speaker that can help women prosper, go to eWomenNetwork.com and sign up as a pro member of our Speakers Network. That's eWomenNetwork.com.